right, so I am just taking both my tires off and going over my suspension. So it's been a while since I raced last, and if you guys remember, last race that I had was the race that the ruts at I-55 were absolutely horrible. So I'm just taking these off, checking all my suspension components, making sure everything's tight and not broken, and going from there. So what we're gonna do here is, for this side, because of I-55 rules tonight, I was instructed to basically just take a piece of sheet metal, and I think what I'm gonna do is try to mimic that one as much as possible. It's hard to hold, but I think I'm gonna take it across. Oh crap. I think I'm gonna go up here. So up and then one sheet across to kind of look as close to that as possible. So let's get to cutting. My infamous sheet metal work. There's the other one. Here's where I knocked out the dents. But so just kind of modified the B-pillar back in. This is what I was told to do. So that's what we're running with tonight. Gonna paint it black, call it a day. What's going on? I'm here with K9. No, I'm just kidding. I'm heading to I-55 Speedway, riding solo, but Mr. Paul Johnson, Mr. Phillip are gonna meet me at the track. I really want to thank them. Those two guys have kind of come on board and helped me a lot, especially with like the stuff that stresses me out in between the races. And so huge shout out to them. But we're headed to I-55 Speedway, Federated Auto Parts, for 1,000 to win Pro 4 stocks. Also want to thank Roadrunner Truck Repair and Clearview Landscaping. Those are two sponsors that came on board for the Pro 4s at I-55 and have upped the money count, upped the exposure. So big shout out to those guys. Go check them out. But we're on our way. We'll get some more footage. Catch you guys at the track. The race has already started. All right, guys. What did we find after the heat? Or not the heat? Went out for hot laps. I felt like trash. Came in. Phillip looked at the entire suspension. What'd you find?
Nothing.
Nothing. What'd we find?
It's that tire pressure.
Yeah. Over 40 pounds of pressure in almost every tire. The front left had 43. I think we reset the tire pressures. I think we'll be good. So heading out for the heat. Second heat. Starting in the rear. All right, guys. So went out for the heat race, started in last, got up to second place, and then tried to get under first place, but we were both running the bottom and made right front contact on his left rear like twice trying to get under him. And I think I felt like he was pinching me off a little bit, but I'd have to go look at the video. Unfortunately, as I was getting up there to try to challenge again, my car came out of gear, out of second gear, and it did that last race. So I got to figure out why the thing is coming out of second gear, because like 3 guys went by me. So unfortunately, I finished 4th, and then top 3 go to tech, and for some reason they told me to go to tech as well, and they told me I had low tire pressure, so I got DQ'd. We checked the tire pressure after we came in, and Paul, what were we at, like 32, 33? So either my gauge is off or their gauge is off, but I'm gonna go with my gauge is off. So we jacked the tire pressure up. Unfortunately, now I'm starting in the very last position because I went to tech and I shouldn't have been there. So a little frustrated about that, just because I think I'd be starting in what, like 10th?
You'd be starting 8th.
8th. Yeah, 8th to 10th, somewhere around there. And now I'm starting like 23rd. So we'll see. It's a lot of cars to come through the field in 15 laps, a lot of great cars and great drivers here. So I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, but I am a little flustered. I'm gonna go out there and I think just try to bring home a clean car, have fun, try to drive my car well, and see where we end up.
Some of the biggest hearts in racing are Pro 4s.
Ladies say, go daddy go! Go daddy go! Go daddy go! Go daddy
Something broke on that car. I just looked over and saw it bouncing at that point. But down in turn number 2, Keith Rapp in that 21 and Joey Laws in the 74 going around. That brings out the caution.
Shifter in gear.
Oh, it was physically moving out.
Yeah, it was popping out. So I had to hold the shifter in gear and then steer with this hand.
Oh my gosh.
And then my power steering went out, so it wasn't smooth.
Wow. Travis, I got to tell you, I'm not much into all of this. I'm learning it. You can get me on this if you want. That was some impressive driving.
I appreciate it, Mom.
And I wouldn't just say that.
Thank you.
It was impressive. I was screaming and yelling like I was at a football game, and people are looking at me like, you don't do that at the races, you know.
Then they tried to tell me to come off the track too.
What?
They said my radiator was leaking, and they were like, you might need to come to the infield, and I was like, my temp gauge is fine. And they're like, well, they said something, and then I was like,
but I'm not hot. My car is not hot. So I was like, I'm gonna go. And then that whole time, they kept saying 323, which is Rob, and he's a friend of mine too. I passed Rob, and then we had a caution. So then I started in front of Rob. He was on the outside, I was on the inside. And then that wreck happened, and I think that's what took my front bumper off actually. And then they told Rob to go ahead of me.
What?
I said, how did we have a caution where nothing happened and I lost a spot?
That makes
So it's
no
like-
sense.
So I felt like I was fighting uphill battles tonight, like between
That's frustrating.
the track and between the car and between just everything. Like, so
I'm sorry.
like, comment, subscribe.
Travis.
Comment,
But I will
subscribe.
say, Travis, that you don't do this every week. You came out to have a good time tonight, and you're competitive, and you like fairness. So that's what trips you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, look who's here. The old mailman himself. So, basically ended the other night, went, y'all saw that I started in the rear, started 23rd, made my way up through the field from 23rd to 8th place. Ended up finishing 8th. A couple things happened. We'll try to include this in the video if you haven't just seen it. My transmission popped out of gear almost the entire single race. And so almost every straightaway I had to reach down and yank it back into second, and I was almost driving with one hand. So we got to get that figured out. What was the other thing? What was my other issue?
The front end.
The front end. The front end got taken off. Keith and Josh and Lexi is her name. I think they all got into each other, and then Lexi got pushed down into me, and next thing you know, it just ripped my front bumper off. And then the last thing is at the end of the race, it started making a weird noise, and unfortunately, she got on.
Pulling the motor.
We're pulling a motor because I think we dropped the valve. It started sounding really, really bad, or torched a valve. We thought it was a coil issue at first and that we were running on 3 cylinders, but I pulled all the coils off and that wasn't it. Pulled all the injectors off, that wasn't it. So taking another motor out. I'm getting pretty good at this, aren't I?
He's going to teach me how to do it tonight.
So we'll see you guys around. See you in the next
Well,
video.
Then we got this thing out there. Just a sneak peek out there on that dolly. Ooh, that thing looks light.
More to come. See y'all around.